folks. Bob here. Welcome to Beers and Camo. I hope everybody is healthy and doing alright and having a good weekend. I've got a few stories that took place in Harlan County, Kentucky, which is where a whole lot of my family's from. Here's the first one. So this first one took place in February of 1981 on Highway 179, Harlan County, Kentucky. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Brother-in-law driving. The road was in bad condition, so they were driving slow. They come up on this creature kneeling down. Stands up, and they said it's about 7 foot tall. Stands up, walks backwards a bit, kneels back down. They approach more, and it jumps over the embankment. So it was dark color, hairy, thick, short hair. There happened to be a bag of trash right there. So maybe that thing was eating the trash or just looking through it. I don't know. And 2 weeks later, some people saw the same thing running across the road right in there. Who knows? On to the next. So this one was in the fall, in September of 1993. And there was two fellers. They were camping. The main purpose of them camping was to dig ginseng. So they were off in a private spot. They were below a ridge line. It was at night. They started hearing howls, and then the howls turned into growls, and then back into howls. And then stuff started getting thrown at them into their campsite. Root balls, trees, saplings that were uprooted, and it's continued throwing stuff at them. Trees, rocks, root balls, all that. They built up the fire. When they would get the fire built up and raging, everything would kind of chill out. And as soon as the fire would die down, it would start right back up. And all this continued almost all the way up to almost daylight. They said that they had attempted to pull up a tree that was smaller in size but kind of similar to the ones that were being thrown at them. And both of them at the same time could not do it. Better watch it out there ginseng hunting out there in the middle of nowhere. The nearest road to that area was Highway 38. So the next encounter that comes from Harlan County was in 2006 in December. It was the first day of black powder season for deer. This feller had scouted out this area that he figured would be a good area to deer hunt a couple weeks prior. Well, it was about an hour before daylight, and he's walking to his spot. And he notices something in some tall grass to his left. Something jumps up. And then something else jumps up. So he clicks on his light and he shines it. Now he gets a reddish, orangish eye shine. And the one, he said that up to the eyes was about 7 foot tall. And the other one, up to the eyes, was a couple feet shorter. Well, at first the guy thought it was a couple bears standing up looking at him. Because his flashlight was small. Little flashlight. But then they took off running. Okay? And then about 100 yards away, he sees the eye shine again. So this feller, he goes on to his spot that he had found a couple weeks beforehand. He gets by this big rock. Now he gets there, and excuse me. He wore scent lock clothing, so the animals don't smell him. And he said that he also drags a rag with deer pee on it to help lure the deer in. He gets to a spot. He takes his orange vest and he said that he ties it up on a limb above his head, and he puts his ghillie suit on. And for those of you that don't know what a ghillie suit is, it basically is a suit that makes you look like a bush. Now daylight comes. He's kind of concentrated on this one area where he figured a buck might be coming up through. And he's sitting there and he said all of a sudden this stick about 2 foot long comes flying past him and lands behind him. He looks over, and about 50 yards away there's this blackish brown monkey looking thing, quote unquote, squatted down looking at him. And he said he thought that it was somebody, dressed up, either teasing him or trying to run him out of the spot. So he yells, hey, you better say something or I'm going to shoot you. He said this thing starts swinging its hands or its arms back and forth. And he sees it's got another one, another stick. So he yells at it again. And then the sucker starts running at him, rushing him. So he squeezes off a shot, shoots right in front of it, and it turns and it runs about 75 yards, and it stops, and it turns and looks over into this thicket and makes some grunt noises, and out comes that smaller one, and it's making this crying sound. Okay? And he said by then he's done got his muzzle loader reloaded and ready. So he climbs down off his rock, and he's fixing to head out of there. So he leaves. He comes back the next day. His backpack had been broken into, everything pulled out. Said he had some crackers and some potted meat. Those were eaten. He had some cans of Coke, and those had been busted on the rocks. He had a knife in there. It was still there. He had a Game Boy in his backpack, and it was still there. So if those were humans, why didn't they take the knife, and why didn't they take the Game Boy? The The drag rag that had deer pee on was gone. He said that he figures that it was a mom and a baby or adolescent. That'd make you not want to go back to that spot. Plus, they had the ghillie suit on, and he had the scent lock clothes on, so they couldn't smell him. They couldn't recognize him because of the ghillie suit. That was near Pine Mountain. This last one was in January of 2013. It was about 6:30 in the evening. It was close to Road 119. This feller went out to check his game cams. Rode his four-wheeler out. Got off his four-wheeler. He seen this creature. He said it kind of reminded him of a sloth. Long arms. Its hair hung off his arms. It was about 30 yards away from him. It was a grayish brown color. Just took off. It took off running, bashing trees down, mowing them right over. Said he didn't see his face, but watched it running. Like I said, that all took place. All those four encounters took place in Harlan County, Kentucky, which is where a lot of my family are from, and still live there. I hope you guys enjoyed these. All my kin in Harlan. If y'all got any stories, you better send me a message and let me know. I'll put it on a video. I won't tell you names, but I won't even put it on a video if you don't want me to. But I sure would like to hear it. My kin folk out there in Harlan, I love you. You know I love you. And I hope to see you this year. Hopefully it's not a funeral. Hopefully it's a reunion or something. Y'all get out there in them woods. You be safe. You guys enjoy your weekend. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And as always, I love you. God loves you. I'm out.